10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From the Ground Up Productions presents Talk Therapy with Lady Miz. She's here to listen and give advice, but brace yourself. If you can't handle the truth, because she's not sugarcoating a thing. She's getting to the root of the problem and addressing the ugly truth. You're now tuned in to Talk Therapy with Lady Miz.
I don't know, guys. Let me know if y'all can hear me. We having some technical difficulties over here. Please put it in the chat. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? Testing, 1, 2. See right now. Oh, well, it's there. It's just that we can't hear for some reason. What's good, people? Thank y'all for tuning in to Talk Therapy Tuesdays. I am your host, Lady Miz, and this is my now co-host.
I'm a stand-in.
Yes, this is my stand-in co-host, Ray the Silent Assassin. You know, guys, this is Talk Therapy Tuesdays, and today is a serious topic. We want to definitely get into addressing mental health issues. But before we do that, we also want to let people know who do not understand what this show is about. Talk Therapy is a safe place for us to discuss different topics so that we could come together and create awareness, and also for us to understand the importance of what accountability is, right? So that we are able to grow into the best versions of ourselves. Just talking to somebody, like we talking to y'all, and sometimes y'all talking to us, and the phone lines will be open. It's therapy sometimes, you know what I mean? And sometimes some people just need somebody to talk to. That's very important. Believe it or not, just having an ear to listen is important. We're here to listen to y'all and give you guys the best advice that we can give you based off of the knowledge that we have and the things that we've been through. And even if we disagree on some things, it's cool. We can still walk away with respect from one another. Okay, so we're about to get into it. Before we do, I just want to shout out some people. Big shout out to Lady Z on the check-in. Big shout out to Chucky Chuck, Poppy Fortune, Town Mama. Did I miss? Said Chucky Chuck, yes. And big shout out to Yellow Pound Cake. I see y'all in the building. Big shout out to Soraya Alexis. Guys, if you haven't already, please share this live. And I apologize for the intro. We couldn't hear. So, you know, we kind of didn't start off with the energy, whatever, but it is what it is. You know, we like, what's going on? But I'm glad y'all can hear us. So big up to everybody on the check-in. Y'all already know, before we get into this conversation, and I really need y'all. Listen, let me tell y'all something. We're going to be talking about Black men and their mental health and all types of stuff, but not just Black men. We're talking about everybody as a whole, because right now we are going through a lot. And when I say we, I'm talking about us as a society. We're going through a lot right now. And I don't know if people are dealing with it in a way that is going to help them get through it. So today, today's a serious topic. Today is not to play around. It's not to turn up. It's not none of that. We're really getting into the talk therapy session today. But before we do that, I want to go to our commercial. Mm-hmm. We're going to go to our commercial. Then we're going to come back, tell y'all a few things we got going on. And then we're going to get into this therapy session.
Are you a content creator? Do you make music videos, short films, documentaries, web series, kids shows, movies, stand-up comedy, visual podcast, educational shows, or sports? Are you a fitness instructor or gamer? Do you record church ceremonies or report news? If so, contact From the Ground Up Productions TV by email at fromthegroundupproductions@gmail.com. For more information on getting your content played on our network on Roku, where there are over 85 million viewers and growing. No more being limited or blocked on social media from the content you post and create. Get the freedom to be you without restrictions from controlled social media. And if you want to run your ads or sponsor our network, contact us now at fromthegroundupproductions@gmail.com to get started now.
You're now tuned in to From the Ground Up Productions. And you're listening to Talk Therapy with Lady Miz. Broadcasting around the world.
Yes, so for all those who are content creators, make sure you guys hit us up if you want to be a part of our network, From the Ground Up Productions TV, which is airing right now on Roku live, just like we are live on, where are we live at? On YouTube, yes. Quick reminder, first I want to let y'all know that we do have a compilation out called Family Business, so make sure y'all check that out. It could be under Lady Miz or under various artists. Y'all could check that out, Family Business. Yeah, it's up there on the screen. Also, I want to let y'all know that we have a reality show coming up, and the reality show is going to be making it in the 845. So look out for that. It's going to be all the people that live in the 845. Even if you was not originally from here, but you live here now and you grinding and trying to make it, that is what this reality show is going to be about. So look out for that. Also, if you guys don't know, we have a new show called Hood Court, where we are still trying to iron out some things, right? But we are, that show is now in effect and moving. We don't have an exact date yet, that permanent day, but we will be letting y'all know, but we might just do pop-up shows sometime during the week, right? Also, if you haven't already, guys, I do have my chips on sale. My chips are on sale for the month of April. That's right. So if you're thinking about getting the chips, now is the time to get them. If you haven't already, Boss Move chips in different stores. It's just actually got it in some stores in Jersey. Big shout out to my mom out there grinding for me. I love you, Mom. Thank you for your love and support. But yes, you can purchase that directly from me, and it is on sale right now. The box is on sale at a very, very, very reasonable price. Also, I just want to remind y'all that we are working on 2 films, one called Hood Pain, which is a film that's a spinoff from our video Hood Pain, and this is going to be an actual film. Big shout out to Joey, who wrote the script for that. And we are also working on a film called Crumb Village. Big shout out to Tyler T Mix, the writer, Mr. 845, get well soon. That is going to be coming real soon. So we are actually gathering up the cast members. Well, we got majority, not cast members, I'm sorry, actors for that. If anybody's interested in acting or being in the extras and want to do something to get your resume popping, make sure y'all hit us up, because we are definitely in the process of making that happen, y'all. Okay, now let me go to my promos for the sponsors. Big shout out to Lagoica. He is a graphic designer, and he does websites and book covers and so much more. Lagoica is spelled Logoika. If you guys are looking for a graphic designer, if you need a website done, if you need a book cover and all of the above, he's the one to go to. Big shout out to Pamela from BCA Acceleration. Is Acceleration? I think I said that right. And she is a business consultant. She helps other entrepreneurs get their things moving up and going. So if y'all are stuck and you're not sure which way to go, she's the one that y'all want to hit up. Also, guys, if you don't know, mark your calendar right now. July 23rd, it is going down. Springfield 80s reunion. Big shout out to Chucky Chuck, okay? And all of the 5G entertainment crew is going down on July 23rd in Springfield Park, the 80s reunion. I will be hosting alongside with Chucky Chuck. DJ Red Alert will be there. I think Melissa, well, I don't want to say unless I'm totally sure, so I ain't going to go there yet. But yes, y'all could come through. Several other artists is going to be there. The Clientele Brothers is going to be super dope. They always got to show love to, of course, the Springfield originators of that area will always be a part of the show, because it wouldn't be a show without the original there. And then every year, someone else is added on and someone else is there. New eyes, new faces, and all that. So it's always a great time. Very family oriented. So make sure y'all come out and check this out. great artists is going to be in the building, and vendors. So if you guys are looking for to want to sell your stuff, hit up Chucky Chuck. He's the man with the master plan. Melissa Morgan definitely there. Oh, okay. All right, T-Ski. Okay, thank you. Oh, they got it in the comment section. I wasn't sure, Chucky Chuck, so I didn't want to say for sure. But yes, so she's going to be there. Y'all know, listen, she's a vet in the game. Gave us great music. Y'all don't want to miss this. Make sure y'all pull up. Vendors, hit up. You see it, Lamont Baker, but that's Chucky Chuck. Hit him up if you want to be a vendor.
Real quick.
Yes.
Big shout out to King Charlie Prince, Cal Cutter in the building.
Oh, King Charlie Prince. Hey, Cal Cutter. That's what I'm talking about. My extended family out there. How my brothers doing out there? Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for pulling up. Is there a way for me to stop that? I don't know if I could do it real quick. Oh, give me a second, guys. Sorry about that. Can I face it? Hey, listen, I hope my butt or nothing was it? Well, look, okay, good. Okay, also, guys, Peace Mentoring LLC is my business. And with this business, I teach different skills, different workshops. I teach you how to start your own podcast and everything you need to know to get it up and running and doing what you got to do. I teach people how to write their first book. I teach you how to budget your finances and build your credit. And I also have entrepreneur classes where I can teach you how to create and sell your own product, just like I did with my potato chips, the right way. So if you are looking for any of that stuff, make sure you go to my website. It's peacementoringllc.com, and you can actually pay right there on the website for your workshop class. Or if you want a one-on-one session with me, you can book me because I am a life coach. So I do work side by side with my customers or clients. Okay, so guys, let's get into it. Again, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that notification button. All right. Hit that notification button. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we are about to get into this deep conversation. King Charlie Prince, I hope you are okay. He said he fell. Okay. I hope you are all right. I don't know what happened, but I hope you're doing okay. All right. So listen. This topic, it's so much to talk about. I don't even really know where to start at this point because right now, I mean, listen, you heard about the shooting today. I mean, it's not like there wasn't always things going on, but mental health today is, I feel, is worse off than it ever been. I want today for us to have this conversation, and we will open up the phone lines for anybody who wants to come in, or if you want to discuss something that you got going on with you want to get something off your chest, or if you want to add value to this conversation, then we will open up the phone line so that you could give your take on it. And I'm sure most of all of our listeners are always adding great value, and we appreciate y'all for that. But today, we want to talk about mental health and how we're dealing with this. You know what I mean? How are we dealing with this? First, I want to start, guys. I'm going to start with Black men, okay? I want to start with Black men and mental health because I think that this is a very, very, very serious issue. I think that I'm going to give my take, or should I let you go first?
You can go first.
Okay. So here's the thing. Here are some of the, I guess you would call it, what do you call it? Oh God, I always be losing my train of thought when I'm trying to say something. When something is, oh God, I can't think, forget it. Listen, Black men or all men are always being told to be tough. Be a man. Don't cry, because men don't cry. Stop acting like a girl, right? There's a lot of expectations when it comes to Black men, or when it comes to men in general, as far as being tough. And I feel that they don't have an outlet a lot of times, and they have a lot of stuff built up inside of them. And sometimes that can come out in a way where it could affect them overall, not just their mental health, but their physical health. They being someone who is like meditating, right? I think that people are getting more into meditating, but I believe that, anything that is viewed as taking care of your mental health is considered to be soft in a sense. It's considered to be soft and considered weak. And I'm trying to figure out, how do we get to the point where we eliminate those stereotypes? That was the word that I was trying to say, and I couldn't say it. Stereotypes. How do we eliminate those stereotypes that are put on? Right now, we're focused on men, technically Black men in a sense, but all men, because we're not going to exclude white men who don't have to follow those same stereotypes too. Be strong. Don't cry. Don't be a man. You're weak. You don't be acting like a girl, as if being a girl is so weak. But yeah. So how do you feel about that? And are you that type of person that says things like that too? Those statements.
I'm gonna start by I'll disagree with you with one thing you said.
Okay.
Mental health has been the same as it always been. Mm-hmm. Since it hasn't got any worse. It's always been the same. The only difference I would say the same is now is people with mental health issues are now more reacting and doing things differently than they used to be. Most of the times when somebody had mental health, they kept it to themselves. They didn't take it out on anyone. Now it's been, it's a lot more people just taking it out on everybody now. They're not dealing with their mental health. They're letting somebody else deal with it.
Okay.
So I would disagree with you on that part of it. It's always been the same. It's the same. It's just the way how people are handling it now.
Okay.
Now, on the other side, where I kind of agree with you with the whole. It is when it comes to mental health, it's really hard to say. It's all about how people deal with and internalize it. Okay. We've made it a stigma that if you go to go to a psychiatrist or you go to you get mental health therapy, it's something automatically wrong with you. Right.
Exactly. And guys, I don't know like how y'all feel about that, but I think that people have to stop being embarrassed. Like I'll say I went to a therapist, and tell you the truth, I'm thinking about going back to one. You know what I mean? And it's funny, but it's not funny because at the same time, like I do feel like I'm a strong person, but at the same time, I know my points where I can tell if I'm falling into a what you shaking your head for?
That's the thing about with mental health. You already are saying a stigma. It has nothing to do with strength.
Okay. Great point. But see, and that's what I'm talking about, the stereotypes, right? Absolutely. I'm glad that you pointed that out. As I was saying, even though I know that it sounds wrong, and it is wrong, I should say, I'm saying that I know that I'm a strong person, but I know that I still need therapy sometimes. So I'm not really saying that you got to be weak to get therapy. That's not really what I'm saying, but I understand why you took it that way. But what I'm saying is, even though I feel that I'm a strong person, there are points where I might feel that I need to talk to somebody, right? Talking to somebody doesn't make you weak. This is talk therapy. We talking to y'all, we talking to each other, and y'all might be talking to us if you call in or when you're talking, when you're putting your comments in there. And we are addressing certain issues. So, at the end of the day, when we're talking about getting help, it shouldn't be viewed as oh, what's wrong with you? People want to get embarrassed as if it's a problem, but that embarrassment and holding it in is why there are people at the train station shooting people up. What happened in Brooklyn today? I don't know. Like, this is crazy.
I don't know if that's a mental health issue.
No? Well, what do you think that is?
Some people, their ideology, this could all be because somebody's mad with America or somebody's mad with the mayor, and they just saying, this is how I'm gonna handle it. That don't have anything to do with being mental health.
Okay, so okay, so I understand what you're saying. In my eyes, anybody that's doing that has a mental health issue. That to me is a mental health issue. But I know some people like to say, we're not going to blame everything on mental health because people are making bad decisions. Is that what you're saying?
That is not a bad decision. That is just this overall what they're doing is wrong. Because and the reason I say that is every time we blame everything on mental health, it's an out for people doing stuff that they knew they wanted to do without mental health. You know, we use mental health as an excuse. And it's not an excuse. We're not going to give this guy the opportunity to say it's a mental health issue without even finding out what his real problem is. Because we could say believing in the Bible is a mental health issue.
I guess you took it there all the way, huh?
I'm not saying that to be disrespectful to people who believe in the Bible, but you believe in something that you don't see, right? Or you haven't felt it. Some people haven't felt it, or some people believe they felt it.
Okay.
Well, and like I said, I'm not going to say this. We'll use Catholic people as an example, right? Catholic people cannot talk to God, right? Only people who's allowed to hear God in the Catholic religion is the priest. He could talk to God for you. But if you talk to God or you hear God, there's something wrong with you.
Okay, so you're saying that that's a mental health issue?
Yeah, no, that's
if you
not.
Believe that.
But no, I do not. I'm not saying that. I'm comparing it to somebody going up and shooting. If we can't blame everything on mental health. That's not, I'm comparing it to.
But we're talking about mental health right now.
Right. And right now you brought up the guy shooting in Brooklyn.
Okay.
That's not a mental, to my opinion.
Well, you don't know that yet. We don't know that, right?
He had smoke grenades, supposedly smoke grenades.
So you think that a person that has mental health issues can't plan to do something like that?
Nope, I didn't say that. What I'm saying to you.
Then why would we excuse it?
We're not giving him the excuse. Because we don't know what it is yet.
I'm saying it's a possibility.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. We the black honeymooners, baby. Yes, Demo went in the building. I see you. It ain't work, damn it. What the hell? I forgot. It's all good. Big shout out to my mom. I see you, mom, in the check-in. Gloria, yes. I want to read some of these comments. So Cal Cutter had said, you could not, wait, I'm sorry, yeah, bring that up. You
cannot be caring what people think. Always put yourself first. Exactly.
Right. And I'm gonna get into that, putting yourself first. I 100% believe that. And
D Moet said some people don't know they have it.
Yes, absolutely. Some people do not know that they suffer from mental health issues. And I guess let's to briefly touch on that, D Moet. People don't know that they suffer from mental health issues because some things are viewed as being common and some things are looked at as this is just what the norm is, and we're going to get into deeper into that topic soon and today's later today. Let me see, what did Soraya Alexis say?
Also, you don't need to go to therapy only when something's wrong.
I thank you, Soraya, for saying that. Absolutely. You also do not need to go to therapy only when something is wrong. So that means that sometimes you might just need to talk and there's nothing wrong, but just to keep you on the right path, to give you clarity, this and that. This is why I wanted to be a life coach, right? This is exactly why I wanted to be a life coach too, because sometimes people just need guidance and there's nothing really wrong with them in a sense, Yes. So here's the thing, guys. We're talking about men. Now let's talk about these expectations. When I list all of those things and we talk about men, especially, I go to black men, right? Especially because I don't think there's no white men in the building. Where y'all white guys at? Here's the thing. Because I would really love to hear from someone who is a white guy who is, maybe suffer from, because white people, this is not a color thing. Mental health is not a color thing. But when you look at certain people in certain neighborhoods, and if it's in a more predominantly black neighborhood, certain situations happen there and certain people endure certain things. So yes, it's going to affect people differently. Society itself can affect people differently. Just being black in America can affect your health. You understand what I'm saying? So it's on so many different levels. But let's go to Yellow Pound Cake. I see you was pointing that out. Let's see what she said.
It says some people don't know they have mental issues because of the enablers. Yep.
Ooh. Guys, I was looking for my I was looking for my sound effects earlier. I was trying to do, but then I played the song. I was on the wrong page. Y'all know I keep it real out here. Yes, absolutely. Enablers. Ooh. That right there, Yellow Pound Cake. Big up to Yellow Pound Cake. Let me tell you why that is so deep. Because you You ever notice when somebody got a problem, they like to run to the very people who they think is going to co-sign what they're going through, the very people who they think is going to give them an excuse for their behavior? You understand? Stuff like that is the reason why people never fix the issue. And those type of people never take accountability for their actions. So my thing is, if you really love somebody and you see that they're going through something and they're doing something, you should tell them instead of trying to show, oh, I got your back. Well, you don't really have their back if you are helping lead them into a burning building or a bad situation where they need help and they're not getting it. That's a huge problem. You have something?
Well, I would say it all depends on the approach.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
You know, some people go, if you approach somebody, you can approach them if you feel, especially if you care about them and you feel like they have an issue. Sometimes you got to be careful of how volatile they are, especially if you know there's an issue there, because you may say something they might make it worse, Sometimes it's like I said, there got to be the approach. The approach, you can't just walk up to somebody and go, oh, there's something wrong with you. You need to get that fixed.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because here's the thing, and I agree with you. You do have to watch your approach when you are approaching somebody who might be in a crisis moment, because that's what it is, right? It's a crisis moment. But let's take the other person on the flip side who has to endure this and take this all in. Who's thinking about that person as if their feelings don't count, as if they don't matter? Talk to me about that. I'm not saying that their feelings do matter, but if, like I said, if you realize the person is having an issue and you want to help them, you can help them. I'm not saying not to. You're never going to hear me say not help. But what I'm saying is you have to be, if you care about them, you have to be careful about how you approach them, because what might be something easy to fix can be turned worse with your approach, and that's with anything. Right. That's with any conversation you have with even a person you don't feel like is having mental issues. You can approach them in the wrong way that'll trigger them. Yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you on that. That's a whole fact. I had something to say. I forgot what it was, but I'm sure it'll come back to me. But I want to move on to women now. Let's talk about women and the expectations, because we probably will circle back around to this. I'm sure we will. Something's going to come up, but I'm going to kind of breeze through. Let's talk about women and the expectations for women. So as my daughter gave me a book, and I was kind of breezing through it, and I kind of was already on the line of discussing these things, but it was like women are meant to look perfect, to do perfect, and to be perfect, right? So being successful is so-called body image, and this is why we have so much plastic surgery. It's so many, and I'm not shitting on plastic surgery. I have to tell you that right now. But what I'm saying is, I'm shitting on the fact that people will spend their money on these fake doctors and lose their life just to get a big butt and big titties. I'm sorry, it's not worth it. It is not worth it, okay? Body image, how much money you make, education, age, religion, all of that stuff. So when we're talking about all of that, as far as women and expectations, I feel that that's a huge issue. A lot of women, let me tell you something, and this is, again, first of all, before I even say this, let me be very clear. I wear nails, I wear wigs and weaves, I wear eyelashes. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not exempt from any of this stuff. I'm not exempt from any of it. You know what I mean? And I'm sure I fall into a lot of the categories that I'm about to speak on. But one thing that I think for me, that although I like this stuff, right? It doesn't make me who I am, because no matter what, if this wig and lashes come off, I'm still me. You understand what I'm saying? For real. You laughing, but it's the truth. That's why I don't know if y'all ever seen, sometimes I will go on Facebook Live, I'll take my hair out, or I won't have on nothing. And I remember one time I was on live, I had a ponytail, boop, took it off. I was like, yeah, y'all, because I don't want, and some people were like, you're crazy, what you doing? I'm not crazy. What it is just because I wear that doesn't mean that that's what I am, right? It's more important about what's in my head than what's on it. But I think that in today's time, mental health is affecting a lot of these women because they feel they have to have an image, a body image, to look a certain way. And I think that men contribute to that behavior a lot. They do contribute. These women are looking to be noticed by men, and the majority, why are they twerking online and doing all this other stuff if they're not trying to be noticed by men?
I'm gonna tell you why that is it's not about
how.
Let me tell you, this is the only difference today now, any different than before with women is that women, the plastic surgery, right?
Okay. Oh, okay, both.
What happened now is women want to get, like you said, big butt, big breasts because of what's social media selling them. But back in the day, we could go with Vanity Fair and all of those other Cosmopolitan, all of those women books y'all used to read.
They still out there.
Still doing the same thing. They would make sure they put what they believe is a perfect image on these covers for women to follow. That's what y'all were reading. So y'all can't blame that on men. We're looking at it. If y'all started going natural and y'all started saying, forget what these magazines were saying and started going natural, I'm gonna be who I am, men are still gonna love you.
Well, let me say something. I think that that's a great point that you made, because I seen that it was this woman on TikTok, right? And she was beautiful either way. But when you looked at one of her pictures, she had the long weave, she had the nails, she had the body, like everything was so perfect. The lashes, everything was like, it looked like the bomb. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. I was like, okay, she killing it. And then when she started taking everything off, she was like, y'all men, y'all say you want a natural woman. Y'all say you want this. Y'all don't like the weaves. Y'all don't like this. Y'all don't like that. But she said, I'm gonna take all this off. Now, if I took all this off, would you still be checking for me? Would you still be looking at me? Or will you be looking at the girl with the long weave down to her butt? Now, let's be honest. Where would y'all be looking?
You asking me that?
I'm talking to you too. You a man, right?
As long as she's a woman, it doesn't matter.
I totally disagree. Open up the phone line.
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna say like Soraya Alexis said it. Both men and women contribute to this. In her opinion, both men and women judge other women by their bodies. So we can't put that on men.
Absolutely. Other women do judge. I agree. But I still think, who you think that these women are doing this for, though?
According to social media, you're doing it for yourself.
Come on now. You know that ain't totally true. But Poppy Fortune, we're going to open up them phone lines. You want to get that going? So I'm going to read one of Soraya's comments.
I was up there already.
Yeah, but you're not leaving it up there. Sometimes you got to leave it up. Yeah. But we addressing it. Okay, so let's read one of Soraya's comments. Both men and women contribute to this, in my opinion. Both men and women judge other women on their bodies. Absolutely. I do agree 100% with that. But I still believe that women, I ain't even looking at him.
You're just repeating what I read.
I know, but I'm just, oh, you read it already?
That's what I'm trying. I've been saying to you the whole time.
Oh, that's what you were talking about?
Yes.
I thought you were saying something. I guess women don't listen.
They don't listen. Yeah.
Hey, watch it now. No, but listen, I still agree to a certain extent, but I still disagree a little bit as well too. Because listen, let me tell you something. A lot of these women don't feel like they're good enough unless they got a whole bunch of likes and people looking at them. Some people will pull down their whole post if they don't get a certain amount of likes. They have to feel and be validated by somebody else. And social media, in my opinion, is causing a huge mental health crisis issue. Social media is destroying a lot of people, and I'm gonna tell you, a lot of adults try to tell their kids don't be this way, but the adults is like it too. Okay. And some of these so-called conscious people who are saying that they are not like that, yes, they is. Okay. Go ahead, baby.
Okay. Mom Gloria said that not only men to be notice women, they think they need to outdo other women. not only they need to for men to notice women, but they need to outdo other women.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yep.
Women are always trying to outdo other women for attention.
But that's not a mental health issue.
I don't think that's a mental health, but I'm just saying these are the expectations that are put on women. So it might not be a mental health issue, but I think that it can lead to mental health because what happens is, give me 1 second. What happens is it can lead to mental health because if they don't get the attention that they were dying to get, then now it puts them in a depressive state of mind. And when you get in that depressive state of mind, then all things go downhill. You start viewing things negative. You start seeing things negative. And I'm telling you, that is where mental health can start to kick in.
That's depression. But we're going to go with, I'm going to say when they start to...
Depression is a part of mental health.
I'm not saying it's not.
Okay.
But that's low self-esteem. That's a self-esteem issue. When you
it is a low self-esteem.
When you start doing that for somebody else and not for yourself, that's a self-esteem issue. Absolutely.
But it leads to mental health after a while. If this is not addressed, it can lead to mental health.
I don't disagree with that.
Let's go to Benjamin's
It says women have low self-esteem from childhood trauma, especially when they was in school being teased because they had short hair or teased how their body looked.
Absolutely. And that was me. Okay. My hair wasn't short, but I was always very skinny. And if I have friends that were really, really skinny, we always would want to wear like 2-3 pairs of pants or all this stuff because we wanted to look thick, almost like, because see, back then we ain't have no money for no surgery back then. You understand what I'm saying? So for us, we always wanted to look thick. I remember I used to stuff in my bra and all of that stuff because I'm like, oh, I wonder what I would look like now. I'm like, damn, God, when you pray for something and you get it, and then you be like, man, to take it away because you want to wear something, but you can't. You got to be careful what you ask for. I'm just trying to say, you really got to be careful what you ask for. But the truth of the matter is, he's absolutely right. King Charlie Prince.
Yeah, well, King Charlie Prince said a woman is more masculine outward. She'll snap if she's disrespected. Her man would try to keep pace. She'll say, baby, I got this, calm down. And she still be running her mouth.
Here go King Charlie Prince on deck talking junk again. King Charlie Prince, you always coming on here with that. You opening up them phone lines?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me read over a few more here. We got Yellow Pound Cake said women are expected to have a certain body style and men are expected to have big tools. I just say love the skin that you're in.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That is so true. And that's what I'm talking about expectations. She got to look this way. She got to be this way. And he got to be laying the pipe. He got to be packing and all of that, right? And if he ain't doing that, then their egos is messed with, and then now they are doing so many different things to get to a certain status and to look a certain way. And imagine going through all that stuff like some of the famous people that we know. I ain't going to say no names, but y'all know men and females who looked a certain way. And today they look totally different because they changed their nose, they bleached their skin, all this stuff. And we don't even know who the heck who they are anymore because they don't look like how they used to be. But even doing all of that, to me, that's a mental health issue. You know why? Because they're still not happy. See, because happiness don't come from that. And that's what we got to talk about being able to fix these things. This is what talk therapy is about. How do we fix that? Because unfortunately, society is still putting these things out there. And I believe it's getting worse.
Okay, I'm going to read this comment.
Yes.
Ty John said, women put those expectations on themselves. Self-esteem starts in the home and women raise the children. So women get the double whammy.
Oh, my God. I would clap for that, but nah. I ain't trying to hear you with that. With nobody playing Ty. I respect your what you got to say. But listen, women might get the double whammy, right? And I hate to say it like this, but maybe the women is the one at home. Where's the father? Let's talk about where the father is at, Ty. Where is the father? Because we're going to blame the woman, but she's trying to do it all by herself, most likely. Because if you took the man out the equation and the father is no longer there, then it ain't just the woman's fault. It's the father's fault for not being there and doing his job too. Because it takes 2 parents to raise a child, in my opinion. But if there's an absent parent, I'm not saying that a single parent can't do it. So anybody, single parent, whatever, I'm not saying that. But it is harder for a single parent. It would be better if two parents was there. Okay?
I don't disagree with that.
All right. Okay. You had something else to say?
Well, I mean, because you touched on it, but we'll swing back around it because that's the issue now when we talk about what's going on with these young kids in these neighborhoods now that's going crazy.
Okay.
We can circle back on that.
Poppy Fortune, we gonna open the lines when he ready. I told him open the lines 3 times.
Yeah, he can pick up. Let me put the phone number up there.
Huh?
He knows the phone number.
We putting the number up there for if you guys want to call in and tell us your take on how you feel, or even if you want to call in and get something off your chest. We are here to talk to you. This is Talk Therapy Tuesdays, and this is the day where we get things off our chest, but we come together as a community because it takes a village to fix this. Okay. Yes.
Soraya Alexis said women don't necessarily put those expectations on themselves, but they have the choice not to believe or follow them.
That's right, Soraya. Absolutely. I like that you said that. That is so very true.
We got it.
Let's see if the phone lines, let's see if it's working real quickly. You test that out. There, yes, we can hear you. Absolutely. State your name.
It's Poppy Fortune.
What's up, Poppy?
One of the co-hosts of the Hood Court.
Yes.
I was just gonna speak on men's mental health, but I do want to say, speak on a couple of y'all points, Double R. Yeah, Vanity Fair and all of those. It's women's magazines, but men created and wrote those magazines. We gotta take our blame for how these women feel. You feel me? Because we're the editors, most of the reporters. Brother man, I don't know your name, who said the thing about women raise the household. I agree with Teresa, son. We men. We supposed to raise the household. If you're not there for your daughter or your son and they turn out messed up, that's your fault.
Now, I have to disagree with that.
You're not attentive enough.
I have to disagree with that.
To learn a good lesson and get that self-esteem from you, and they have low self-esteem because they want it for you. That's your fault. As a man, we got to accept that. Don't say, oh, you choose the father, because as a man, especially if it's a woman in your family and you see the father's not there, it's your job to step up and be the father of that child. If that's your sister, that's your cousin, and they got a kid and their father ain't there, I don't expect you to do the monetary things, but you should do the moral support and emotional things for those children, because it takes a village.
I don't disagree with that.
Absolutely.
I don't disagree with it some points, but we got, we can't blame it saying, oh, because you have two family homes, and I'm playing devil's advocate, right?
Okay.
You have two family homes with both parents in the house. You can't blame a parent for how a kid acts once they grow up and do the thing that they feel like they do.
I agree to that.
But there's always signs before the kid is an adult that, hey, this kid is going through something. We got to pay attention to it. When we see these kids going through something, it's just not your kid. If it's your nephew, if it's a friend's kid, if it's just a kid on the street you see walking and it looks like this kid really going through something, stop him or stop her. Hey, yo, you good? And because that simple conversation can change somebody's day, and a day can change your life.
I agree.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
And you know what? And it's a very good point, because again, what do? Ain't none of my business. Or we turn the other cheek, because we are getting so used to or so desensitized to all the stuff that's going on around us that we don't realize that people need each other. We need each other.
And that's what I was going to speak on men's mental health. It's like, as a man, we aren't allowed to have crisis of mental health. We aren't allowed to feel down. I was being told earlier about, just having a conversation. Me and Lady Miz were talking before to Talk Therapy about different things. And it was like, there's a clubhouse group for men's mental health. But I guarantee you, if a man joined it and this old lady found that he was in it, he would be called every gay and every soft under the sun, because we're not allowed to do it. And honestly, from experience, I had experience where literally I was dying, like health reasons, health failing. And I was trying to vent to this chick I was talking to about it, and I got called, excuse my language. She said, why you acting like a bitch? Son, I'm dying.
He said, wait, I don't want to laugh at the dog. See, now you're going to make me look bad, but it's the way you said it. He said, I'm dying.
Well, he's living now, so.
I mean, like, I live, but like, you feel me? Like,
right, but you know what? And I totally agree, but you know what? It's we talk about this every day, and we go, oh, look at this. Men have mental health issues, right? But sometimes you gotta blame the relationship you're in, right? Because here's what when you say something, and women do this too, right? And I'm not gonna name the famous couple that's going through it right now, right?
Yeah, they had enough of us talking about them.
Women will ask a man to tell him how he feels.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do, you don't listen.
Facts. Or we get caught short.
Yep.
Right.
Or we're
so that's a good point. That's going back to what I was talking about earlier.
You're bringing up drama. Oh, you being so dramatic.
While you whining, it's always something. It can never be like, yo, I'm hurting. Like, it can never just be that. It can never be, I'm hurting, just hold me, because I'm hurting. The same way I'd hold you if you were hurting. But like, it doesn't work like that for us. The moment we say that, oh, that's gay.
That's deep. See, I'm glad y'all bringing this up. Ladies out there, do you feel as a woman that you have those qualities where you do not allow your man to have those moments and make him feel like he can't open up or show a side to him because he has to live up to society and the image of what was put out there of what a man is? Let me say, for me, I know that I thought like that. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm gonna be honest. I did grow up in a society and community where it was more of, hey, and I kind of still think like this. I ain't gonna lie. So I guess y'all could talk to me about it and let me know where I need to fix myself. All right. Talk therapy. We got to help each other. I do feel that men should be strong in a certain aspect. Like if something's going down, of course we got each other's back, but I believe it is your job to protect me. And if you can't, I'm looking at you a little funny now, like, hold up. Because if you can't protect,
even a protector has moments where it's okay to be weak in private. If it's an issue, we're gonna stand strong to protect you. But being one-on-one, I should be allowed to have a moment of weakness alone with your old lady, because that should be the person you trust more than anybody else. That should be your back more than anybody else. You should be able to have that moment of weakness of I'm holding the world on my shoulders and it's getting heavy.
Right.
We aren't allowed to get that.
Right, because you know what happens is it's in society, the two is always compared or lumped in together. Like you're supposed to protect me, but protection is a two-way street. Because a man having a mental health crisis as the spouse, you're also protecting him by listening and understanding what they feel. Because what happens is like anybody, when we shut you out, then y'all start to have your issues and you start to have your thing. Like, what's wrong with him? What's wrong? Why is he not focused on me? Or why is he not paying me any attention? And now it's two issues in the house.
And a lot of times it leads to three, because everybody thinks men just cheat because of physical reasons. Nah, a lot of times a man's not getting emotional support at home, and a random chick he work with or a random chick on the street, you okay? And she falls into it, and now it's in the bag.
He said, you okay? You know what, Poppy Fortune, you ain't lying, because that's how it is. But just know it's like that on both ends, not just for the men, but for the women too. But it is true, though. It's always somebody sitting over there waiting for that moment, that crack in your foundation so they could slip right in. That's a whole fact. Oh, my God.
And most times the housewife, the work wife or the work husband always know what's going on in the home.
Absolutely. Let me give some shout outs. I see that Al Mosley is in the building. Big shout out to Al, and big shout out to Eddie OJ. We see you, my brother. You know we here for you. Still thinking of you. Got your back. You already know what it is. R.I.P. to your son. That we continuing to have you in our prayers for you to have strength. For real, for real. So, you know, Soraya said being vulnerable shouldn't be labeled as a weakness.
Yep.
Okay. And that is very true. So I guess my question, Poppy Fortune, before you go, is this. Based off of what you said, right? And Ray, you tell me too, based off of what y'all said, have y'all had any experience with women? And it could be me. It's okay to talk about me. Don't do me like Will and Jada, the Red Table Talk, though, because that's getting kind of crazy. But but look at it. I'm
thinking.
Don't be scared. But anyway, have you guys felt like being in a relationship with a female or a woman that it made you get to a certain point that you're like, hey, this is pushing me to the point where it is affecting your mental health?
I mean, nah, because I'm quick to, like, I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not a nice person. The moment you annoy me, like, it's over.
Okay, he ain't got no patience.
Somebody else is gonna do. nothing that you do special. There's nothing about you special. You wilding them out of here.
You ain't giving them no chance. All right, how about you, Double R, Silent Assassin?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I grew up in a society where men couldn't say, hey, you know, there was no crying. If you fell and got hurt, it was like, no, pick yourself up, dust that shit off and keep on playing, you know?
Okay.
So, you know, we all grew up with that attitude. So yes, I wouldn't say it's a mental health. The mental part of it becomes now you're reluctant to share how you are or who you are with people when you've grown up that way.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I have a hard time opening up. And like I spoke in a situation with the girl earlier, and it's like, well, that didn't affect me mental health wise, because like the relationship bad and it's affecting mental health. That did bother me, because that was the first time I really opened up to somebody in a while. And it's like, oh, that's why I keep it to myself. It
makes you hard to live with you, especially if you open up and that's the response you get. Everybody, and I'm gonna say not just men do this, women do it too. Right. If you open up to a man and the response is you get a negative feedback opening up. Like a woman could tell a man she love him, and a man could, you know, fuck her, you know, excuse my language, but I don't care about you. You now reluctant to open up your heart to somebody else.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the natural.
It's the protection. It's
the natural response to protect yourself. Right. Self-preservation. It's Absolutely. Like I am no longer opening myself up to anybody because of one person's negative response. And like I said, what that happens now is you're no longer opening up to anybody and keeping it to yourself. And that's what causes a lot of mental health issues.
Absolutely.
Depression,
Big
suicides.
Big shout out to Calcutta Mom. Hi, Calcutta Mom. How are you? So listen, I want to now kind of like move over to the environment and talk about like, you know, the hood, you know, the ghetto and the trailer park. It don't matter. Wherever certain areas are, and we're talking about mental health and the lack of love, right? Let's talk about that for a minute. Okay, let's talk about how people and families are so separated and people just walk around with this hate and this anger. And I'm going to blame you for every damn thing that you did and don't know how to let nothing go. And then they in a position where they cause division within the whole family. And now you got people that's loners, but they act like I don't need nobody. But these are the same people that are kind of by themselves and not that I don't need nobody attitude is destroying them. And then that's when you get the attitude and the lashing out at random people. How do y'all feel about that?
I could explain that I don't need nobody in a sense, right? And I say it this way. Sometimes that person who's now feeling like they don't need nobody is the very person that was helping everybody. And when they finally needed the help, there was nobody to help them.
Sometimes. That's not all the time.
No, I'm not saying not all the times, but a lot of the times that's what it is. It's like, I've been there for you. I've been there for you. And because I'll give you this, and this always happens like this. You get people to call you up every day telling you their problems, but not one time will they ask you how you're doing. You know? Right. So you got to look at it that way. You know, you can't say that everybody's issue comes from something. It's unfortunately, some people are born bipolar, some people are born with mental health issues, but some people develop it.
How does one develop a mental health issue? And I guess this goes to the environment, being in a home that's toxic, because let me say this, they always, and I said it earlier, being, a two-parent household is important, right? But at the same time, there is a flip side to that, because they also say being in a toxic home or in a broken home is worse than being from one. If it's not good within the home, then, if you're talking about abuse, things that are just not normal that a kid shouldn't see, that's not good. So you don't stay in an atmosphere like that. But what that does is now that child is already taking in stuff like that, and it's probably going to create some mental health issues down the line.
That's true. That's true. And now, I'm gonna speak from a veteran's experience, okay?
Okay.
Because a lot of us, our older generation, grew up with the term where we see the veterans on the street, and we still it just slipped my mind. It slipped the term they used to use for them when we seen them on shell shock. We used to see a lot of veterans on the street and be like, "Oh, that guy's shell shock," right?
Yes.
But it was never educated on a term called post-traumatic stress. You know, you got a lot of these guys who come home from war. That was up there already. Okay. And you got these guys who come home from war, and there's nobody there to help them. Okay. You know, I'm a perfect example. I had my mental health issues with that. You know, luckily for me, I had the VA to help me. Right. You know, you got a lot of people who don't. Absolutely. Absolutely. What the yellow pound cake say? The community I live in, the parents look at me like I'm crazy because I have the kids cleaning up the garbage and I reward them. It's been said to me, I think I'm better, and they child don't need me. Oh my God. Those people are ignorant. That is very ignorant. That is ignorant. But you know what? I want to commend you, Yellow Pound Cake, for doing that, because let me tell you something. And I talked about that on a previous show. I can't remember which one, but that was a topic that we were talking about our neighborhoods, right? We can't complain about our neighborhoods and expect anybody else from outside of our neighborhoods to come into our neighborhood and care more about it than us. So we can't be throwing things all around and then turn around and say, hey, they need to come around here and clean this mess up. No, they don't. We need to clean the mess up. We have to take good care of it. He be disagreeing, but I'm gonna tell you right now, absolutely not. But I mean, this is not a mental health, and I don't want to get too deep on that. But at the end of the day, okay, your environment is still very important. Okay, the environment is also shaping your mental health. The area that you live in, your household, all of that is shaping your mental health. I don't disagree with one part, except for the fact that yes, we should be cleaning up our neighborhood, right? Yes, absolutely. But we also cannot leave out the people responsible for making sure the neighborhood is clean also, because what happens, like I said to you before, if we constantly keep cleaning up the neighborhood, we pay our taxes, we do all those things, we pay our, some people paying their rent and all of those things to these buildings. These buildings are supposed to maintain it. That is not my job to maintain your building. See, I understand what you're saying.
One thing before I get off the phone.
Okay, go ahead, Poppy Porch. Sorry, he's still on the phone. Poppy Porch is still on.
But on the PTSD thing, Double R mentioned. One thing we also have to realize, because you brought up the hood, is a lot of our young people in the city are suffering from PTSD. You got to realize these areas where, first of all, you have a lot of areas in the country with the hood is an active war zone. Yes. Like Chicago, Newark, St. Louis, Kansas City. These are active war zones. You had kids being brought up and given guns at 10, 11, 12 years old. Even Portsmouth, Virginia, where I'm from, like, you have kids being given guns at 10, 11, 12 years old. Think about the mental disorders this kid has. And now you say, oh, these guys who think they're the super savages and they super gangsters, now they're dealing with severe mental disorders, and the only thing they know to do is to put this pain on somebody else. That's deep. We have a severe mental health crisis. And then on top of it, absolutely, we're coming from places where by the time you're 16, 17, 18 years old, 19, 20 dead people, that's your age. Yes. And the older you get, and until you had a certain point where you're able to move away from it, the older you get, the more it wears on you. Because it's like, well, this person was such a good dude. Why didn't he get to see that? And that's something we have to, and it goes to our community. We have to do better for our community. You're right. Environment does play a huge part in it. Because guess what? Somebody who comes out every day and sees clean streets and you can see clouds, they're going to be a happier person. You go into cities and it's nothing but buildings and it's gray, and you get into the inner city part where our people are at, and where they don't send sanitation into everything that they're supposed to. And people just throw stuff out in the streets. It's dirty. It's filthy. That's stinks. Right. You're going to be mad every day. And these are little things that you're going to associate with traumas. And then you see this person and watch this person just flip out. It's because it smelled like his hood. And exactly. It flipped him back. And that's PTSD. We need, and a big part of it is our prison system. Our prison system, the root word of the penitentiary is penitence. It's a place of penitence, for reformation. But there's no penitence in the American private penitentiary system. Nobody comes out of prison a better person unless they become religious. And even most of them don't come out better people. They just come out acting like they with God. Well, I mean, some people campaign to our local people, to our local governors, our local people in government, governors, senators, House members on the state and on the federal level about getting rid of these private prisons and getting real mental health treatment into regular prisons. There's no reason why the only people who get real mental health treatment are those who are allowed to plead insanity. And if the insanity plea was really for people who are suffering from mental health issues, there wouldn't be a single Black person from the inner city in the prison, because almost all of these young men and women in those prisons are suffering from severe mental health issues, which are only going to be made worse by being caged like an animal.
I love everything you said. Listen, thank you. Listen, we appreciate you for calling in, and thank you for dropping those jewels and giving value, because I think you made some great points. But definitely thank you, and we're gonna chop it up with you. But that's Poppy Fortune, y'all. He got 2 shows that he's gonna be doing. He's gonna be doing a sports show, and he's also gonna be doing
Hood Court,
and another show, Everything's Debatable. Trust me, he's great at that. I'm sure that y'all can hear and see. But let me tell y'all something. What Poppy Fortune just said is so important. War zones. Like, I was on the live yesterday, and I seen Tyrone Muhammad. Big shout out to Tyrone Muhammad. He's in Chicago. I interviewed Tyrone Muhammad when I was on DJ Cisco show. I said, hey, I want to get this brother on the show because he reminds me of today's Malcolm X. I mean, he was out there being a community servant. He done got all his people, and they go to their city. They help their people. They help look for jobs. They protect their women. You understand?
Not only that, he's in the politician's face. Like, you messing up. You doing something wrong. You got to go.
Absolutely. This brother Tyrone Muhammad is out there, listen, doing everything, policing his own neighborhood with his own people. And people like you don't see people. I really don't see what he's doing anywhere. I don't. And there's a lot of people out there, religious people, people with big names, and they are not doing what that brother is doing. You understand what I'm saying? But back to the point is, first, let me just say, this is the only thing that I disagreed with you on, Poppy Fortune. That brother right there that's out there, that's a better person doing all that I'm talking about, that just like Malcolm X, he was in prison. He did go to jail, and he did come out a better person. He came out a better person. See, it's all about what's really in you. Sometimes your environment can keep you stuck mentally somewhere, and you don't know how to get up out of that situation because you're always in defense to survive because of your area. You know, you could be a good person and go to jail, and now you got to defend yourself because you're around some real killers, and now you got to become something that you're not because you got to protect yourself. See what I'm saying? So when we talk about this brother here that I was speaking on, Tyrone Muhammad, it was live. I shared it. I shared the live. They killed people. I literally watched a young girl get murdered on Facebook yesterday. Okay. Philadelphia, my family's still out there. My brothers are still out there. My dad is out there. My cousins is out there. Philadelphia is a war zone. They're not talking about it. What is it doing? I see what it's doing to my family. Okay? It is destroying them in a sense mentally. I see what it's doing. So we talk about this mental health. The area and where you live is serious. It's serious. Newburgh is like it too. You understand? The murders is crazy. So when we talk about these areas and we talk about mental health, how do we help each other? How do we help our kids? And this is why big shout out to Mikey D. I ain't saying the name because y'all be stealing stuff, but I will say big shout out to Mikey D. We're actually planning something. He brought something to my attention. I was totally with it because I had already had an idea to do something similar. And we really it's nice to be able to come together with people who want to really get out here and make a difference. Because if we don't do it, then honestly, who then? Who's going to do it? Because our kids, I'm sorry, when you look at our kids, I blame us. We are, you can shake your head all you want to, but I'm going to tell you something. At least there was always problems, but our family structure was a little bit better than what the family structure is today. You disagree.
I'm gonna
Go ahead. Let me say.
I'm gonna say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with you. Our kids, is something wrong with them. It is, and we are us. It is
our fault.
No, wait, let me finish. It is our fault, and I'm gonna say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it started up long ago, and D. Moet pointed it out. And I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna write off his comment first. We are children from slavery, so there are a lot of mental health issues rooted in our community, right?
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna say this. I always said to you before, right? It was the generation of before us that dropped the ball, right?
Yes.
And I'm gonna say this why? Because, and I'm not even gonna say I hate to say it. A lot of us, like myself, grew up in single parent homes, right? Where it was well capable of men who had every opportunity to take care of the family and didn't. You know, so when you look at the neighborhoods like they are, the drugs coming into neighborhoods, that started a long time ago. What do you expect these kids to see when generations of fathers, not now, first the fathers who had the opportunity to be there, not be there. Then you got the kids like me who grew up in the crack era, who you now there's no father in the home and you're selling drugs. You're now no longer in your home, not by choice because you was arrested. And now you got younger kids raising kids. You know, there's kids having kids now. You can't expect a kid to raise a kid as an adult. Well, 99% of the times.
Okay. All right. I understand your point, and I agree to a certain extent. And let me tell you why I still place the blame on us. And I believe that we are still partly responsible for why these kids are the way that they are today. Again, yes, they might have dropped the ball. But see, here's the thing. And I'm guilty of this too. Our generation is so we're go with Survivor. We have a lot more opportunities. But the thing is, in order for us to keep what we got to stay on the go and stay on the go. So what are we doing? Sometimes a lot of us are, and not well. I mean, we kind of make sure we keep an eye on our kid. Probably a little too much. We probably should let them go more.
Not the way.
But yeah, not the way society is. But we kind of keep an eye on our kids thoroughly because of the way that the world is today. But I'm trying to say that video games, right? Yeah, didn't I let you talk?
Go ahead.
All right. I'm trying to say that video games, right, is raising our kids. Video games is also showing constant shooting and death and desensitizing our kids to more death. They already see death on the street. They already see death in the community. They see death everywhere they go. They see death on the news. And then when they sit down and have that moment to chill, now they see death on the game. See, before they were playing outside. Okay. Before they were playing catch, they was playing basketball, they was playing tag, they was playing hide and go seek, double dutch, hopscotch, you name it. There was different things that they were doing. But now they're not doing that. They're more online and they have access to information that shows them what? More death, more negative things. And what do the news show them? The news ain't even reporting the good stuff. I don't even know if good stuff exists anymore because the news, they only want to show this one got shot, this one got stabbed, this one got beat up, this one got this. But what does that show you? That show you that we are in a crisis right now. That show you that there's some serious mental health issues going on right now. And it is our environment, but it's this damn world.
And that's what I'm gonna say to you. You put it on video games, right? And I always say
going back to the
but you got to listen because the video games do. The kids play video games, right? Mm-hmm. But you got to understand, there's a lot of these kids who aren't playing video games because they're 10 years old with guns in their hand. The real video game to them is because they don't believe life when you die. That's it. Because they haven't been taught. Their brain hasn't even developed that yet.
Right. So here's the thing.
That doesn't have anything to do with a video game.
But let me tell you something. Well, look, it does have the video game to me play a part. Right?
If we could blame the video games, we could blame.
I think video games is a part of mental health issues.
We could blame video games. We can blame Arnold Schwarzenegger. Then we could Sylvester Stallone. I'm just saying. Let's just start with this because they do the same thing.
Listen, hold up.
They're celebrating.
Okay, but let's take a step back real quick. And maybe I could be wrong on some things, and I'm okay with that, right? I'm okay with being wrong. But when you take a child who is constantly seeing fighting, maybe it's fighting in the home, Then they go outside of their house. Maybe it's fighting in the street, fighting at school, fighting on the corner, fighting at the corner store. And they are not playing outside like they used to. And they sit down and they turn on the TV and they see murder, killing, and murder and killing. And then the things that we give them to do offers the very same thing. Are you telling me you don't see that as an issue that could affect our kids' mental health?
I never said that, but you can't put, and we keep having this argument. In this society, you cannot put it on one thing.
It's not just one thing, but that one thing plays a part. It really does. And we have to play our part.
I grew up on video games with the same violence. I'm not out here killing nobody. The difference is, and where we have to take responsibility is educating our children, communicating with our children.
Mm-hmm.
That is when I'm gonna say this, all right? Mm-hmm. And I say this to you all the time. The reason we have, or the kids are loose and crazy like it is, because society now, and unfortunately, everything is so expensive that people are working 2 and 3 jobs, not being home to keep an eye on their kids. And we also have this mentality in our head that before, like me, if somebody seen me doing something, either they check me on it or they was quick to tell my mother. Society is different now. If you come up and tell somebody, hey, your kid is out here standing on the corner selling drugs, the parent is going to be, no, not my child, mind your business. And that's the difference. Nobody wants to hear anything when it's their kid until they're screaming, not my baby.
I agree with that. But I agree that all of these things around is desensitizing people to death. I'm going to tell y'all something. I got to keep this so real. First of all, okay, so a couple of my friends, right, passed away. Y'all know this, right? I don't like to keep talking about it constantly because it is sad, right? And I look at other people that knew them and I can't understand how people could just have the attitude like, and don't get me wrong. I understand that death is a part of life. But what I'm trying to tell y'all is people today are different. They lack love. They lack empathy. Okay. I watch it. I could see it in a person's eyes, the way they talk, how they move and all that. Today's people, different, straight different. Okay. I don't see the love that should be there for the.
And now, what you saying that you expect any different from our kids?
Well, that's where the problem come in, right?
Exactly. So we
can't. That is what the problem come in,
and that's what
right?
I keep saying. We can't blame video games. It's the parents. We always want to,
but I said that and you disagreed with me.
No, I'm not saying. What I'm saying is I disagree with blaming it on video games. It's not the video game. It's the parent. Parents are not teaching their kids. Parents are not staying on top of their kids. Parents are not being like parents. We hand our kids a phone, right? Mm-hmm. And you got a lot of parents that won't even monitor what their kids are doing on the phone.
Very true. Absolutely true.
So we have to. It has to start with parents before we blame anything else. Because what we always do when it comes to the mental health in our community is deflect. We blame it on something else instead of what the real problem is.
Well, see, I'm not deflecting. What I'm doing is I'm saying straight exactly what it is. And it's a combination of a lot of things. Like I said, video games is going to be one of them. The community is going to be one. Your environment's going to be one. Your household is going to be one. The people, nature and nurture, what is shaping you. That's all a part of how you are going to respond. It's a part of shaping your character and who you are. But I'm telling y'all that in today's time, people care less. People care less. I look and I be like, yo, these people don't give a damn about nothing. I'm sorry, people will pull up to a funeral just to eat. They not caring about the and it ain't funny though. It's true.
It's true, yeah.
No, they will pull up. That's why I say, look, I got family members, don't talk to me. If something happened to me, don't have them at my funeral. If they not talking to me now, they better not be there. I'm sorry, absolutely not, because they don't care. Okay, people, what they want to pull up just to see if you really dead. Like people just don't have hearts no more. They don't have hearts. They don't have empathy. They so, like I said, desensitized constantly. They're angry with the world and they're not getting the help that they need. They're not getting the therapy that they need. And these things are the reason why people are suffering from mental health. And as I said before, the broken households and there's no family structure causes an issue. I don't care what nobody say. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody wants somebody to talk to. Some people might say, oh, what do you call those people that introverts? Is it introverts?
Introverts.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you might kind of be to yourself, but that don't mean that you don't want somebody to connect with. Human touch is important. When I used to be a nurse assistant, right? I used to be a nurse assistant. One of the things that I know, first of all, but that they taught us in addition to what I already knew, was the human touch alone was important. Just the human touch. So we were trained to give massages a certain way to the elderly people, just so they could feel our hands on them. The human touch is important.
I'm glad you said that, because that's extremely important. That's what our kids are missing, because we work so much and we're not home so much. That human touch that they need, they're not getting anymore. That's true. You got a lot of parents who are working, especially in single family homes. And I hate to beat on the single family homes, but unfortunately that's what it is. And I'm not saying it don't happen, because I was raised in a single family home and I went somewhere, I came out different. But where I'm what happens is you got them parents who are working, like I said, 2 to 3 jobs, 8 hours a day, come home, they're cooking for the kids and they're going right to bed. They're not even helping their kids with their homework, right? Because they don't have no time. They're not getting that interaction that they need. So what happens? They go out on that street that guy who's did 20 years in jail came out. He still wants to be the man in the hood.
Big homie.
The big homie, and he's taking care of your kid now.
In a way that you don't really want him to, because now that's gang.
And now you're not paying attention to your kid. Your kid's, he's looking for that attention. And what happens? The street gives it to him. Which
leads to more mental health issues. Point blank, period. King Charlie Prince said they don't even party no more. They don't even party to dance. Where are we at? Okay, anymore, because they're holding their cell phones up, videotaping instead. So I'm glad you made that point, because people don't even know how to enjoy life and have fun anymore.
Man, they're not.
Which is another issue that leads to mental health. If you don't know what makes you happy, if you're not doing the things to make you happy, if you just on social media looking at somebody else's fake life, because all the people only gonna put the good stuff up there unless somebody's attention seeking, right? But other than that, most people are gonna show you only what they want you to see, right? So now you're on there looking at somebody else's life and what they're doing, and you're depressed. So the minute that you get out and do something, you got to show everybody, look where I'm at. I see people on vacation. I got to say to myself, how the hell are they really having that much fun? They got to show everybody their every single move, because they just want to show people what they're doing, because majority of their life, they probably not really doing what makes them happy. So they got to show, look, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be honest with the cell phone thing, okay? They're not only keeping their cell phone at parties, they're actually now filming people fighting. Nobody's even trying to break up a fight when they see it no more. You got 100 different. I'm gonna tell you like this. I've seen fights with so many different angles. Watching a basketball game in the arena don't have that many angles no more, because there's so many different people recording now. Nobody wants to do anything. It's easier to say, you know what? I see you on the camera and go viral.
Yeah, Poppy Fortune said once a kid gets access to social media, where we at? Once a kid get access to social media, the internet has more influence on them than anything. By then, add in friends, parents, other adults, TV, and the teachers who knows what you get. So that last part confused me. Did I read it wrong?
But once he's in a sense, what he's saying is, once social media gets a hold of your kid, I don't care what you bring to them, it's hard to pull them back. Right. And literally, you have to take the social media completely away from them.
Yeah, that's very, very difficult. I see what you're saying. And social media is a powerful tool, man. I mean, and that's why we have to be aware. That's why we got to talk to each other. That's why we got to do things and pay attention to what's going on in these streets, on social media, every damn where, because things are crazy. But let's talk about sexual and verbal abuse. You know what I mean? Sexual and verbal abuse also leads to mental health issues. And how do we fix something like that? How do you fix a person who's been sexually abused? Because honestly, now let's talk about this. It's an uncomfortable situation, but they do say that some people who are raped end up being rapers. They end up raping other people because they've been raped. Or some people, like, let's say, for example, I know some girls who were raped where they became very, 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 I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong word. What word can
promiscuous?
I use? Yes. Promiscuous. Yes, we could use that. And it was because that they were raped. But again, what are they doing? They hold it in. They keep it to themselves. They don't tell nobody. They blame themselves. They think it's their fault. They're embarrassed to tell someone else. And they don't realize that it's not them. And this is the things that we have to open up the door to get people to talk about, to say, hey, it's okay to tell somebody that this is what happened because you was a victim. You were a victim. Okay. And protecting, first of all, when you don't say nothing, you think that you're protecting, I guess, your privacy, but you're protecting the raper. And then what you're doing is you're kind of almost contributing to it possibly happening to someone else because you didn't speak up. So the thing is, it's hard to tell someone to speak up if you've been raped because they're probably embarrassed. But what does that do? Them people that's been raped, they are so angry at the world, and they don't go get the help that they need to get.
But on the other side of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't the raper have a mental health issue too?
I said that. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I read an article recently, right, where this guy he was sexually assaulting the kids for generations, and nobody did anything about it. So that's the issue there, and that sometimes you have to blame family members because some family members know and be like, oh,
they don't say nothing. They want to
keep
protect.
it secret. It's like the biggest secret in the family,
Absolutely. And that, hey guys, since we're talking about that, let's talk about this uncomfortable topic, right? If you are somebody in the family and you know that someone raped somebody, why wouldn't you speak up? Why wouldn't you say nothing? Yeah. You know what I mean? You are contributing to the destruction of that person, the victim's mental health. You are contributing to that. You're not protecting them. You're protecting the raper. And I'm sorry, I don't care who it is. It should be addressed. It should be told, and it should be brought to light. There's no way in the world. And the sad part about it is it happens in a lot of families. Yep. I know some people. You have no idea the things that I know that, please. I know some crazy, crazy stories, okay, where people have had kids by their father. Yes, was pregnant from their father because their father was raping them. Sometimes y'all see these stories on TV. These stories are not fake. I know people that actually went through that. It's sick. It is sick.
I think people like that, and I'm not going to say nothing, and I'm not going to apologize for saying it. But when you get caught like that, and we know for a fact that that's something you did, that's the death penalty to me. There's no trial. You take them straight to wherever they got to go and let them in. 21 guns right to the head.
Oh my God, Lord Jesus! Big shout out to Tyrone, my brother on the check-in. I see you.
You got to give them you got to give them the same fate because the person they doing that to got to live forever with that. Why Absolutely. Does that person get to live like nothing's wrong?
Well, listen, because then I guess then in a sense, then you got some people that might say, well, what about those who are falsely accused? The ones who are innocent.
That's why I used that said you have to make sure that if they've been accused and it's proven, there's no holds barred on that guy.
And this is, well, I'm glad you made that point because my neck is hurting, y'all. I know y'all see me doing this. Because the thing is, I gotta get in the hot tub.
Or that girl, because I've heard women do it too. So,
right, they got to speak up, but that's why it's important as soon as you hear something to say something. Mm-hmm. When you drag it out and you don't speak up right away, okay? There's certain tests that they can run to test to see if the person has been raped. But if you wait days and they go test and they don't find nothing, now is your word against theirs. And you have to remember, at the end of the day, y'all, the judge don't care about what happened. They only care about what you can prove. So if you can't prove it, then it's your word against theirs, and that's it. Now, I know that this ain't always the case when it comes to certain situations, right? When it comes to getting justice for a certain group of people, but we're not going to go there right now. I'm just talking about right now when it comes to the rape. Now, let's talk about real quick. I want to speed it over to just people who are not happy.
Yeah, now I was going to read some of the comments real quick.
Okay.
Let's start with King Charlie Prince. He said, young mothers are twerking on Facebook and Instagram. They are not good role models anymore.
That's a fact. I 100% agree.
Town Mama said, King Charlie, some young mothers are professional mothers. They have babies for child support, so they don't have to get a job.
Woo! That's a fact too.
We see that every day on Loving Hip Hop and Basketball Wives. I'm gonna call it what it is. I ain't ever seen one of them people with their kids.
Maybe they don't want to put their kids on television. I know for me, like, I don't like constantly posting the kids because I know some people out there that don't like me. I'm like, look,
just like
I'm not gonna be putting my kids out there for people to be after them.
Gray out the area, the stuff that they wearing that they don't want people to see. You could take that same energy to gray out the kid.
I guess they can. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, or even saying, hey, I'm in the store buying something for my kid. You don't see none of that.
Right, I guess I understand.
They professional mothers.
What did Town Mama say?
That's what.
That was it. Oh, okay.
And, King Charlie Prince said, you post knowledge on Facebook and they quick to put you in Facebook jail, but they do have women taking off their panties and doing other crazy things, and it's okay.
That is so true. And again, the reason King Charlie Prince, though, let me just say why Calcutta, we're going to look for what your mom said. I don't know where it's at, though. He'll look for it. The reason why women are doing that is because they feel that that's what get them the most views and likes. And that's what I'm talking about understanding what success. I'm about to get into that. What is success and what does it look like to you? Based off of like some people just doing stuff just because that's what is common and this is what everybody think is popping. But is that what really success look like to you? To get a bunch of likes because you twerking and shaking your ass on Instagram? And if you got 500 likes, you're validated now? You know what I mean? Like, come on, you got to know what you really want in life. You got to know what really makes you happy. You cannot be going through life having other people dictate what success is to you.
Okay, Calcutta, I'm gonna read what your mom said. Calcutta's mom said a lot of people are famous that are famous were raised by a single parent and they are doing well. There are no mental health problems. That's true. I don't disagree with that.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Yes. I do agree with that. I did see that. Well, here's the thing. Wait, go back to that. Go back to that comment again.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. That was about the older generation, right? Single parent households. Okay. All right. So here is the thing when we talk about that. I do think that some of those people did have mental health issues. I hate to use these people because, I really do respect these people. And I never want to say anything where I'm disrespecting somebody. But I'll take the Jacksons as an example. They had, well, that wasn't a single family household, really. But some of these celebrities, right? Some of these celebrities had everything. And they weren't happy. Some of them were not happy. I don't know what it was. I don't know, like, they got to the point where they got into Hollywood and that destroyed them. Because see, let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. I don't care what the situation is, but is it me or did everything feel better when you had less? I'm sorry to say it. You know what I mean? Give me a minute to explain. He said no. Let me explain what I mean by that. We live in this house. This house got 3 floors. 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, right? All right. Now, basement, man cave. The house is big, it's spread out. Everybody sometimes be in their own little corner. A lot of times that's happening. Now, sometimes I try to get everybody together, and sometimes we haven't done it in a while, but sometimes I'll say, let's just everybody sleep in the living room, put on the TV. Like, you know how it was back in the day. Everybody we ain't have no choice but to sleep in one room because there wasn't many rooms. What, 2 at the feet, 2 at the head, what Raekwon say from Ghostface, whatever. I don't know. Y'all know the line. But anyway, we all in there. You wake up Saturday morning, eating your cereal. We was talking about that on Saturday morning, watching the cartoons and stuff. You had your family structure, and although you didn't have much, what did you have? You had each other, right? You understood what family meant. You understood what it was like to be together. You understood what love meant when it came to your family. People don't have that no more. And this is a part of the reason why mental health issues is on a rise. This is a reason why it's a lot of young people today that are committing suicide. They feel empty inside. They feel empty. There's no way in hell. I never seen this many kids killing themselves. I never seen it. This is ridiculous. They feel empty. So you telling me that you don't think that? Do you think these kids would also do these things to themselves if they were back then? Because when we had less, I didn't see it like that.
I can't. Well, I'm gonna say it like this: any people with money and still having problems, I don't know. Maybe because I don't have it, but I know if I had the money, it wouldn't be nothing I couldn't feel. I'd buy my happiness everywhere I was at.
You can't buy happiness. I totally disagree with you.
Okay, I don't have enough money yet.
No.
I'm gonna tell you.
Don't listen to him, y'all.
I'll buy my happiness.
No. Michael Jackson couldn't buy happiness. Yeah. Whitney Houston couldn't buy happiness.
They didn't know what to do with it. I'm gonna tell you
no,
right now.
you wildin'. Yes,
right.
They did.
All right.
I disagree.
Okay, it's perfectly fine. I know what
buy happiness. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way, boy. Ain't no way. You wildin'.
I want to add. Mom Gloria asked a question. She said, "Why did you come out different? And what mindset did you have going through that?" And I'm not sure what that's to, so that's why I was asking.
Okay, Mom Gloria, that question that you have that is up on the screen. Why did you come out different? And what mindset did you have going through that? Are you talking to me? Or are you talking to Ray? Can you put it in the comment section so that we can address it? Or we could still address it.
We're going to address, because, mental health and money, right? Because you hear a lot of these people with all this money, they take drugs, and some of them die by ODing. With all that money, and they still not happy. That's because they're not doing things with their money to make them happy. Like me, and this is just the kind of person I am. I believe in taking care of the neighborhood, right? Or taking care of your environment and the people around you. I have a thing for veterans.
Okay.
If I had money, I would donate enough to take care of veterans. That would make me happy. People aren't looking to do that kind of stuff no more. They're not looking to help nobody.
Right.
So you see it, a lot of those people, when you see me saying money can buy you happiness, yes, I would find the things that make me happy.
Well, I say this: money is only going to let you have fun and be happy for a moment, but long-term happiness, the value is not in a dollar. The value is not in things. I totally disagree with that, because you could have this whole big house, but this house is nothing without my family in it.
I totally agree.
Okay, I could come in here and be happy for the moment. Sometimes I am happy, like if I'm the only person in here and it's peaceful, because they be getting on my damn nerves sometimes. Okay.
I don't know who she's talking about.
Yo, Demo, wait, I gotta get the bang zoom to the moon. I gotta get the honeymoon and stuff.
She ain't talking about me.
I'm talking about him. And y'all up there, I know y'all hear me. Them kids, they be getting on my nerves. But check it out. But overall, I might want my little break, but I look for that. You know what I mean? I look for that because that's my family and I love my family. I want to hear them talking and laughing and getting on my nerves, even arguing sometimes, whatever. You might laugh and keep it moving, but you know what? That's just what it is. Money can't buy that.
You think not? I'm already planning what I'm going to do with the grandkids. You think what?
Man, listen, money, you know what money do? Money spoil kids and make them disrespectful.
I ain't talking about spoiling.
That's what it do.
I ain't talking about spoiling. Okay. I'm talking about being the favorite grandparent.
Oh boy, let's get back to I don't know where he going with it.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, because we saying, mental health in the family, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I believe if we keep our kids together, what happens is a lot of, and you know, your mom's does it. She's always around. She's always helping. That was
Yes.
That in a lot of families is lost. The mothers aren't helping their kids with their kids anymore.
Right. That is so true. And you know what? The grandmothers are just not what the grandmothers used to be back in the day. Some of these kids don't even have a relationship or even know. And I'm going to tell you, this is not if you think that you're the only one, I'm telling you, I hear lots of people complain about this everywhere, that they kids do not know their grandmother like that, or they know them, but they do not have a relationship with them. I do not want that to ever be me. I'm going to tell you right now, absolutely not. My kids, I want to make sure that I got a relationship with them and their spouse. We got to be one whole big family. We have to be. Well, I hope so, unless I don't really like them. If they abusive, if they on drugs or something like that, you know, to the point where they're destroying the family, I'm not accepting that. But I do, you know, when it comes to if your grandkids and stuff like that, like you should know ain't no way that you shouldn't have a relationship with them. And to me, that is a huge failure on the whole family structure when the grandmothers ain't even involved like that in the kids' life. That is extremely sad. It really, really is. Now I want to talk. Okay,
real quick,
because we're gonna wrap it up with some solutions, guys, and things in a minute. Mm-hmm.
This your mom's she's talking to me. She was asking that I said I came up in a single family home, but made the right choices to have a better life. What mindset did I have? And I'm gonna say it like this: growing up where I grew up, it was nothing but death and destruction.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I've seen a lot in my age that some kids don't even see. What it was when I had my son,
Mm-hmm.
my older son, it was like, you know what? I don't want that for him. You know, I don't want him, because I'm gonna be honest. Growing up in that environment, I always looked at it. You know what? My dad didn't care whether I lived or died, and I hate to say that because you know me and my dad are cool now. But I lived in an environment where it was death or destruction, and it was never once saying, you know what? Let me see how I can get my son a better life.
Oh.
So to me, when my son was born, I was like, I don't want that life for him. So I'm gonna have to make choices where my son don't grow up in an environment where he got to worry about bullets flying for no reason.
I gotta mute them. I gotta mute this.
All right. Hey, you know,
we're back. I had to mute the mic for a hot minute. Yeah. Mama Cow, thank you for the you go, Lady Miz. I see you, Mama Cow. But go ahead.
I'm saying what I'm saying because it's not a lie.
Okay.
You know, I don't, like I said, me and him are cool now.
Uh-huh.
I hold no animosity to him because I'm a different man. I grew up different. I grew up with a mindset that I'm going to do better for my kids. I cannot, you know, whatever the story is with him, that's old, but it made me say I'm gonna do different.
Okay.
I mean, the fact that you know
y'all didn't turn this into the red table talk. Stop playing. What y'all doing over here?
She asked the question.
Thanks, Ma. Thanks, Ma. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying that's the issue with mental health. Now that you say it, right?
Okay. Yes.
You're saying that because you're like, oh, you know, and I hate.
No. Go ahead. It's okay. It's okay.
You muted the mic because it was like, hey, look. You sure that it's all right to say that about your dad?
Right.
You know, nah. Why lie? That's what contributes to mental health because we lie.
Well, it's what you said though. I'm gonna keep.
Because
you said you said that you don't think you care if you lived or died. I think that's deep, yo.
No, but and I'm being honest with it.
Okay.
Then that's
it's getting deep.
That's what I'm saying that happened to. And when I say I blame the older generation because there were fathers who were well capable of taking care of the family, but they didn't.
Okay. All right.
So, you know, we grew up in the era, crack cocaine and all of that. We selling, killing. None of that's changed now. It's just now that our kids have lost control. They're getting these stuff earlier in age than when we did. You know, the first time I seen a gun, I was in high school. These kids now are seeing it in elementary school. That's the only difference.
Ray definitely got to be a main person on Talk Therapy. I mean, y'all see him, right? I mean, because he did step tall. Y'all see when he first started, okay? Because now it's like, yo, he all the way out the shell, okay? But you know what? I respect your, you being authentic and stuff. You know what I mean? I just, but you're right though. As far as trying to cover things up or hide or this and that, that is a part of mental health, and we were just talking about that earlier. I was just checking, okay, because I ain't want to, but yeah, because I did send the link.
Okay.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Calcutta said, my parents always said you have 3 days: 1 to cry, 1 to come up with a plan, 3 to do it, and that's how I was raised. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Calcutta. That's what I'm talking about. 1 to cry, 1 to come up with a plan. That's what. I'm the one that do it. I'm like a quantum leap type of person. It's a good and a bad thing when it comes to me, because I'm the type of person that'll say, you know what, I want to do this, and if I don't know how to do it, or if I don't have somebody to teach me, and that's what I want to do, I'm gonna learn by trial and error. I'm not afraid of failure. I just go do it. Some people might look like, oh, look at her, she failed again, but not me. I'm like, hey, I tried again and I learned something new. Yep. So that's how I be moving forward on what I do. Now, to talk about a little bit about that, and then we're gonna wrap it up. A little bit about what you said as far as the parents. I wanted to say something to that. As far as the mother and the father and the household, but I didn't forgot. So
okay, we'll circle back to that.
No, we're not circling back. We're gonna wrap this up. So let's talk about, guys, real quick. We're gonna end this, but what I do want to talk about real quick is some of the things, just to remind y'all on what you can do. What you can do. First of all, if you're somebody that's out there and you're going through something, you have to first understand that you matter. You have to value yourself. It is so important. And if you don't value yourself, nobody else will. Use the law of attraction, because it works. It really does. You have the power to change everything about your situation, starting here. In your mind. If you were crying right now and you decided, I want to smile, you can turn that frown upside down. I know that sounds corny, and then smile right now. If you were sad, you don't understand the power that you have to change your situation. And that's what you have to remember. And that's what you have to do. Understand another thing, that meditation is important. Take the time to understand and feel your inner self, to block out everything around you, to relax your body. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out your mouth. It's okay. Take a break, take a moment, shut everything off, because your brain needs that moment. If you're somebody out there going through something, please put your pride aside and reach out. Guys, can somebody quickly, because I should have had this beforehand, put the crisis number in the comment section if you can. Look it up and put the crisis number in the comment section so I could put it up here on the screen. But if you're going through something, instead of trying to hold it to yourself because you think nobody cares, even though we live in a world where most people don't, there's always some who do. You just haven't found the right person yet. It's just like being somewhere and somebody saying, oh, you're not great at this, and they don't like your stuff, but somebody over there might like it, but you might can quit doing what you love because you took the advice of them when it's a whole big world out there. Get yourself around the right people and eliminate the negative ones. It does not matter if they family or whoever, if they're negative and if they are toxic. You need to eliminate them out of your life, because one thing a toxic person will do is never take accountability and blame you for everything. They will never say, I might have been the problem, or maybe I am the problem. They will constantly always point the finger at you. Other people out there, stop, like Yellow Pound Cake said earlier, being enablers. Don't be an enabler. If somebody is wrong, let them know. You can say it in a nice way, but you got to let them know. How else are they going to fix the issue? You can't fix something that you don't think is broken. All right? You can't. Make a list of the things that make you happy. Make a list of the things that make you happy and do it. Because you only got one life right now to live, and you need to live it. because tomorrow is not promised. All right. Tomorrow is not promised. Again, stay away from people who have bad energy. And if you need help, please go out there and seek that help. Did anybody find? Did anybody got the number? Okay, we're going to put the number on the screen. If somebody is in a crisis, going through something, or needs someone to talk to, that's the number. That's the 1-800 number. 1-800-273-8255. You know, I'm going to tell y'all something. I don't care if somebody steal this idea because yeah, give me a second. I don't care if somebody steal this idea because if somebody's doing it, it doesn't matter because it's helping people. Another one of those things that I wanted to do was create something like that. Something like this, but really just to be that ear, maybe a friend to listen, somebody to listen, right? Because I ain't gonna lie. Now, I'm not talking about this number here, right? But let me say the number. If you guys are going through a moment or have any type of crisis and you need somebody to talk to and you need help, you can call 1-800-273-8255. That is the crisis number, the crisis hotline for you guys to call. Now, back to what I was saying, I was thinking that maybe I should start like some type of business, but I didn't really know how to go about it, where I have people who really care, because the one thing that you don't want is to make that phone call and there's somebody on the other end who thinks and sounds just like everybody else who don't care. Somebody on the other end who just looking at this is like, this is a job. You got to find the right people who really care about the people, about human life. I'm going to tell y'all, let me tell y'all something real quick before we get up out of here. COVID totally messed me up. Okay. Losing my friends was my friends were dying. And I personally, I'm not really used to that. So I don't really handle death well, and I didn't know how to deal with it. Right. So I was really going through a depressing moment. Really bad. I picked up the phone and called that hotline that they have for COVID. It was for me. No disrespect to them or anybody else. Maybe it worked. It didn't work for me. It just felt like, yeah, everybody's going through it. I know, and I know, I mean, I guess what do you say? But I mean, sometimes you gotta find the right person for the job, right? See, when somebody just get a job because they just there to make money, when somebody get a job just because, I got to pay my bills, and they not in that specific job because it's in their heart to do that, because that's what God put in them to do, right? Then they ain't going to do it like that. They're not going to do it from their heart. And that's why I was saying, like, yo, I need to start something, because I know people who really freaking care. Somebody that will really care. There are some people that still like that. So that's what I was thinking about doing. Maybe I might still try to do it, or maybe y'all might want to do it. You know what I mean? But we got to have something out there like that, because listen, y'all, people need somebody. And look, or you could come here. I know we get a little crazy sometime and we the black honeymooners, but at the same time, if y'all wanted to call and talk about something, our phone lines is always open for y'all to be able to do that. We are the ear, like I told y'all, to listen. We go through our stuff too. We ain't no different than anybody else. And sometimes we might need to talk to y'all. But at the end of the day, what is important, we walk away still respecting one another and hope that the conversation made a difference so that the next day we could keep moving forward. All right.
Now, you said something about that crisis line. I think the worst line to tell anybody is everybody's going through it.
Yeah, I mean, everybody kind of was in a sense.
I don't care, but everybody's individuals, and that's deceptive. People who get on those kind of phone lines got to know how to separate the individual you're talking to from the world. Right,
absolutely.
Now, I mean, this is, I'm gonna give my personal solution on how I deal with.
Oh, I'm gonna answer that, cow cutter.
Yeah.
Give me a minute.
I'm gonna give my personal how I deal with releasing my stress at the end of the night. And you know this, and I tell you to do the same thing. At the end, I set my phone up at the end of the night to do not disturb me. At 10:30, my phone completely goes off. There's no business happening. Only people who's gonna be able to get in touch with me is people who are in my favorites. If you are not in my favorites, we'll do business when I get up in the morning. So at the end of the night, there's no nothing. You're not calling me with no problems. It's all over.
Wow.
And yeah, and At the same time, I also speak to a therapist. I don't find nothing wrong with it. It helped me.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
It actually helped me understand how to deal with myself as well as how to properly approach people when I'm dealing with my issue. Because that's another issue, you know. It's you going through a crisis, some people don't know how to approach for help.
Absolutely. Listen, I just want to say this, and Calcutta, I'm going to actually address I'm going to answer that question. But before I do that, and I've been telling you, Ray, you should have your own show. Put that comment up there on the screen. Demo West said Ray is going to have his own show midnight. I agree. I think you should do it. I think, guys, Ray is doing really excellent now. I think he's totally out his shell. Y'all see him. Why don't you do a show, your own show, just for men? Put me
on the spot. Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yo, no, I think you really should do it. I really do. I think that you would be great at it. And I think that is very much needed. You talk about the fact that you want to help veterans and other men. I think men coming together, we need to see that anyway.
Yeah.
You need to be kind of like building with these men, and y'all need to be building. I don't need to be there. I could be in the background, you know, making sure everything is good. But yo, think about that. I think that's really, really a good point. Now, I'm going to address this, and then we're going to get up out of here. Calcutta's mom said she wants to know what I think about kids from group homes. Oh, I love the fact that you asked me that question. It's so funny because I was in a group home. Now, I was in a group home because I was getting in a lot of trouble. Now, that's a whole long story. Calcutta, Calcutta mommy, I thought that you read my book, Broken Then Healed. And I got to be honest, I was not healed. I thought I was, but I wasn't. The book that I wrote, Broken Then Healed, it talks about me being in a group home. Now, the weird thing is, I always want to do something, right? This is so crazy. I wanted to open a group home. Somebody told me, nope, them kids is bad. They're going to burn down the house. And it was all these different things. But the crazy thing is, I was a kid in a group home. And it wasn't because of my parents wasn't great. It was because I was getting in trouble constantly. I was getting kicked out of school. I was getting into fights. I was, just not coming home and all this other stuff. And I kept, honestly, sometimes a lot of these fights were me defending myself, but that's a whole nother story. But eventually, I started walking around with blades and carrying them in my mouth. I was a little thug. I ain't gonna lie. I was a little thuggish. You know what I mean? I get busy. I'm sorry, Calcutta mommy. But I'm just saying, look, I was a little bad out there in the streets because I was adapting to my environment, and I was a product of my environment, right? So what happened is I ended up going into a group home. The group home was called St. Cabrini. And the funny thing is, it was somewhere upstate, but I don't know. I used to be like, it's cows up there, and now I'm up here. But I was in a group home, and that group home closed down not too long ago. And when I heard that, it really broke my heart. And the reason that it broke my heart, y'all might be thinking that it's a bad thing. Nah, let me tell y'all something about the group home that I was in. I learned a lot there. Okay. The teachers there were teaching us, and it seemed like they really cared. I was building things, wood, like a tree. Take the wood. I was learning how to take that wood and turn it into a table. Things that we go to the store and buy right now, I knew how to make that. I don't know how to make it now. I probably could if I, work, but I was learning, and I loved it. I was learning structure, okay, because I was wild for the night. I was learning how to get up, do certain things. Look, overall, it's not to discredit anything of what I learned at home. But once you get out and you start to do your own thing, you kind of like Poppy Fortune said earlier, like how social media was, the streets started to teach me, because that's where I was. So when you're learning from the streets, sometimes your morals ain't always right. Okay, my morals was not always right. So I started to become like everything that I was around, which was not good. But that group home started to change me. I ended up getting kicked out of it. Okay, because I was still getting into fights. But I ain't gonna lie, it changed me though. So what do I think overall? I think group homes could be a great place where there are mentors and where there are staff who's there for them kids, to be there for them, to teach them, to guide them, to be the village that they need. I think group homes are needed when the right place and the right people are there. Okay, that's what I believe, and I I swear I want to do so much, and I know that I can't do everything. I still, in my heart, want to do that because I know what it was like to be in one.
That's what money gonna do. That's exactly what I'm saying.
There you go.
That's what I'm saying.
He brought the money thing back up. It's time to get him out. Go ahead.
Optimistically cynical. He said, I took my son to the park, and when we got home, we found his goldfish dead, which is a tough situation for any parent. How do you explain autoerotic asphyxiation to a 4-year-old?
I don't know. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, how do you explain that to a how old?
4. Yeah, that's tough. You know,
I mean, yeah, go ahead. I'll let you go first.
I look at it like this, you know, and I don't remember where I heard this from, but it always stuck in my head. Death is a part of life, right? And you always look at it like when you die, you're making room for your kids, your grandkids, your kids.
Okay.
So that's how I look at it. You know, I mean, maybe you could explain it to the 4-year-old like that. Like, look, the goldfish died so we can make more room for more goldfish. I don't know. It's a way to explain it. It's hard to explain that to a kid.
Poppy Fortunes think that you trolling. I can't take it. But listen, let me tell you, if you're not, and that's really true, I can't tell you because somebody need to explain it to me. I still don't deal with it well. Honestly, I'm a deflector on that. I run from it more than anything. And I avoid what they say, fight or flight. Like I'm one that flight. Like I don't really like to deal with it because I'm a Cancer. I'm extremely sensitive. And I do not, he's a Cancer too, but I don't know and I don't deal with it well. So yeah, I don't know. But listen, y'all, we appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. And I just want to leave before we get out of here. First, you got any final words?
I think I said everything.
You said everything you had to say?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm just going to leave out with these final.
Wait, I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Now that we're talking about mental health, please, everybody, because this is dear to me. It's called 22 a day. And I've said this to you before. 22 veterans every day, on average, take their life. So when you see a veteran, just thank them. You might change their day. Wow. That's deep. Thank you for that. Absolutely. And thank you for your service. No, seriously, absolutely, for real. Because there was a point where, I mean, you wasn't like going too crazy about it, but I always really respected you for that and what you've done. So thank you. We're going to get up out of here, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Again, if y'all haven't already, make sure you hit the notification button and subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. Do not forget and tell other people to subscribe. Again, y'all know Mondays is From the Ground Up Productions. That's where we interview different entrepreneurs, different independent artists, and hip-hop pioneer legends we always have on the show. And on Talk Therapy Tuesdays, which is today, this is when we come together and we talk about certain issues to get things off our chest. We open up the phone lines in case you guys want to call in and get things off your chest. It takes a village, and that's what we're trying to do here. Talk Therapy is about exactly that. Sometimes we just need to talk and get things out of our mind, but we don't just want to talk. We want to put action behind those words. So if it's something that needs to be done, we need to be doing it. Okay. We need to be doing it. And also, please don't forget Hood Court. See, we got something for everybody, right? We got where we shine the light on other people and we give them the stage, you know what I mean? And then Tuesdays, we do this where we release and relax and get things off our chest and talk about great things. And then Hood Court is ratchet, baby. Okay? Because listen, we can't leave the hood rats out. What you thought? Okay, we can't leave out the ratchetness. So Hood Court is about that. So if you're somebody out there, don't be afraid. Like, you got to come on the show. It's fun. We haven't had anybody yet. We did have a couple of people that was supposed to bring somebody on, but I guess they're not ready as of yet. But Hood Court, if you're going through something, and it ain't got to be nothing real serious, right? But if they violated hood rules in the code of the street, you could bring them on the show. We will have a public defender, public pretender, because that's what it is in a hood, right? And then we will have the hood defense. So you guys there will be a lawyer and a defender on deck, and then there will be a judge
Our audience is the jury. Everything is based off of the code of the street, hood rules, and we will find out at the end of the show, did you get your hood card revoked? And that's what it's all about. So until people start pulling up and bringing somebody to the hood court, we will just pull people in the court right off the internet and let them know if they got their hood card revoked, like we did for the past people that we just spoke on. So anyway, guys, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. Thank you guys for always being supportive. Don't forget, if you haven't, please make sure you share this link with somebody else and tell somebody about our show. You know what they say, one person tell 5 people. That's how it spread. And I want to leave y'all with these words. So please do not forget to always, always, always believe in yourself, because these are our night affirmations before you go to bed. Believe in yourself. Trust in yourself, put yourself first, and protect your inner peace. And always remember this: it doesn't matter when someone is broken and angry and you talk to them or say something to them. They might not be able to receive your message the right way, or they might take it in the wrong context. It's not you. So don't take offense to that, okay? It is not you. Guys, Talk Therapy, Tuesdays. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah, and I wanted to say
Peace.
to everybody who said thank you for your service. Thank y'all. I appreciate every single one of y'all. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Take care.
Peace, y'all.
We hope you enjoyed your time with Lady Miz on Talk Therapy. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel to your Roku list and listen to us on all streaming platforms.
From the ground up. From the ground up. There's only one way to go from here.